Hey everybody, it's David from Mythic Men, a YouTube channel dedicated toward the quest for men's excellence. So let's get into it. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about that quest for excellence and some things that might happen along the way. One of those things is that mediocrity in all its forms will always attack excellence. Let me give you an example. I was talking to this guy. I was telling him about like a little bit about my routine, my fitness routine. I mentioned that I was counting calories, and immediately he hops in and starts calling me extreme. He's like, whoa, you're way too extreme, way too extreme. Now I took it. I was like, okay, cool. Let me hear what he has to say. Cool. And later on that night, as I reflected upon that conversation, it kind of stuck out a little bit to me. I thought to myself, what was going on there? And then it dawned on me that there is a quote. It's like mediocrity is always going to attack excellence, because people who are operating on a mediocre level are always going to have to rationalize and justify why they're not doing what you're doing. So they have to attack and label yours as extreme so they can keep on doing over here what they want to do, which is eat the ice cream and stuff their faces with sugar. I don't know what it is, but I'm not doing any of that. So that's just something to be aware of, is that if you're striving for excellence, the world isn't necessarily going that way and people aren't really thinking that way. So you, at some point, you're going to have to kind of like veer off the path and start doing things that other people might actually think are crazy. But from there, you'll actually think they're crazy for not doing it. But again, that's all part of walking your own path and this quest for excellence. So another like side of that thing is that whole concept of moderation. I think it's built into that concept of moderation that we always hear, everything in moderation. Well, nothing is more mediocre than moderation, because moderation is like, I can eat the ice cream, a little bit of that, I can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'll do some good things over here too, and in the end you'll all wind up right here, right in the middle, completely mediocre. Moderation equals mediocrity. It wasn't my idea. It's a famous author. I was on his retreat. I learned about that. So I always try to avoid mediocrity, and that's again what this whole channel is about, is how we as men can step up our games in every category to be exceptional men, mythic men. That's the idea. That's the quest. So some things to look out for, because we're talking about health here, and I realized to not be fit, to not be absolutely in the best possible shape that you can get yourself into, is completely insane. If you have the means, you have internet, you have some free time, you have some free money, you have no excuse not to be in the best shape possible. It's insane, because everything else in your life is hinging on it. You can't have the career success, you can't have success in your relationships, you can't have success anywhere if your health is failing. And anybody that's ever had a toothache knows that, because all of a sudden, once that tooth starts hurting, everything else goes out the window. Everything, because you cannot focus on anything but what's going to happen with this thing. So imagine an accident, cancer, you name it. Like, health is the number one thing, if you ask me, because again, without it, there is nothing else. A lot of people put it second, third, fourth place, but eventually we're all going to learn that without that, there's nothing. And I don't think it's extreme like this guy told me I was. He had mentioned it because I was counting calories. And I realize now that that's just nuts. I mean, I'm doing an experiment. I'm counting calories because I want to find out what's optimal for my body. Don't you think it's insane that people get through a whole lifetime and never once figure out exactly what their body needs, the right combinations at the right time to get the right result? Most people never figure that out. I think that's crazy. No wonder there's a line at Starbucks all the time, because people wake up and they need that boost of energy because they're not getting it from their workouts and their nutrition and their state of mind. So they need the external. They need a coffee to fuel them through the morning, through the afternoon, through the early evening. That's insane to me. Okay, so on this quest for excellence, it's all about getting to know what you need and doing what it takes to get the optimal results. That's the path of excellence, and that's what this vlog post is all about. So I hope this helps. I hope this gives you something to think about, a new perspective, because I know, like, when it hit me, I was like, oh my God, this isn't something that I ever heard anybody else say, that it's actually insane not to be 100% fit. It's always like, oh yeah, it's great to be fit. No, it's not great. It's insane to not be fit. Is that extreme? Let me know in the comments. But I think it's just the quest for excellence and what needs to be done. Be mythic, my friends. Have a great day.